Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Friday, September the 13th, race number 5 at Belmont Park. We're kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4 with an allowance race going a mile on the Widener turf. And you're going to want to check out the clocker reports produced by DRF's Mike Welsh and his stellar clocking team, available for the Belmont Fall Meet. It's just a perfect complement to your daily racing form past performances. Single cards are at $12.95. You can save, obviously, with a weekly subscription. Buy now at drf.com/clocker. Let's meet the field for Friday's DRF Bets race of the day. And, of course, you can access free formulator past performances for this race, where on the race of the day event page, of course, at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We're going to take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 2 Coffee Crush. And Mike, you and I have been big fans of Coffee Crush. I think it's fair to say she's been an underachiever throughout her career. Here's Coffee Crush on the lead, swinging into the stretch last time out at Saratoga. She had a nice, easy lead. Medida is currently in 3rd place in the Yellow Silks. Once Medida gets into the clear in her first start for Arnaud Delacour, she comes with a run. I was disappointed that Coffee Crush blew this lead. I'm not sure I love this race.
Yeah, I didn't like this performance from her either. Not that the filly that beat her is bad, but she just sat right up on the pace with her. Coffee Crush had no excuse there. I mean, she was lucky to hold second over Medida at the end. And Medida, I don't know, I just felt like she was very conservatively ridden there in her stateside debut. Came with a nice late run. I think that horse will take a step forward.
No, I would probably use Medida a little bit more than Coffee Crush, although Coffee Crush might have a pace advantage yet again. We'll throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this race. Blue bar situation in Timeform U.S. parlance. That means that this race could favor horses on or near the lead, and clear on our pace projector is the 2 Coffee Crush, who might be able to get right to the front end. That would make her dangerous, but again, I just didn't love the way she finished up last time out. Let's move on to the 1A in here, Pivotal Connection, who is, unfortunately for folks that like a Pivotal Connection, coupled in the wagering with Medida. This is a mare that has not been out for about 8 months, but let's go back to her last race at Aqueduct. I think Junior Alvarado is one of the best turf riders in all of North America. I think he could have gotten out. She's in the red hat down towards the inside. I think he could have gotten out at the quarter pole. He stayed in, and this just doesn't work out.
Yeah, just blocked for most of the stretch. It's hard to tell how much she had, but she's racing on here. That's, of course, Mitchell Road on the lead, who went on a big run after this win. This trip didn't really work out. I thought her other turf start, she's run 4 times in New York, but only 2 of them on turf. And I thought her other one was sort of a similar, sort of unlucky trip. She got shuffled out of position in that race and then was trying to re-rally late. I don't know, she looks pretty good, as you say. Coupled with Medida hurts your price. I guess it all depends. If you like the entry, it all depends on how much money Alti it takes.
And you can make the argument that this is kind of a hidden class drop off the layoff. You mentioned the 2 turf races. She was in against Semper Sententier, who's a stakes horse, Lady Panem, who's a stakes horse. Last time out, the horse that wired the field was Mitchell Road, who's come back to win 3 in a row, including a graded stakes with buyers ranging from 84 to 95. If Belmont has this one ready to fire off the layoff, she's going to fire, and she's got the tactical speed to be close. Let's talk about Alti, your morning line favorite for trainer Chad Brown. Now, the short comment, Mike, I disagree with. It says traffic quarter pole. I thought Javier gave Alti a perfect trip in this race. Let's swing into the stretch. She's sitting behind the lead. She's in the black silks. She eases out to split. She's just not good enough.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. She did not have a tough trip in this race. She's got every chance from here. That's her winning stablemate closing from behind her to win this race, Masha. And listen, Altia just didn't have any excuse here. Not only not to win, she doesn't even get by for second in this race. It's very disappointing for a filly who, she's certainly run some good races since she's gotten over here, but constantly comes up short. Seems like she does not want to pass horses late in her races. I think she's pretty tough to take at any short price.
That is a major concern at a short price. If I had to give her just the slightest excuse for last time, it would be, I think she's better on absolutely firm ground. There was a little bit of give in the ground at Saratoga, and she doesn't seem to like it. This might be her last chance, because she has been a disappointment since Chad brought over her. Her first start in was a graded stakes placing in the Florida Oaks. It looked like she was going to become another in a long line of Chad Brown stakes winners. It has not worked out. This might be her last chance, at least for me. The short price is not very appetizing.
She's had her last chance from me, Danny. I'm not taking this horse anymore.
Longest shot on the board's Goodbye Broccoli. And Goodbye Broccoli, I guess, 2 starts back, kind of chasing wide in that Moscow race behind Alti. Wasn't exactly the greatest trip. It's just that she's kind of reached her peak, hasn't she? And that was last fall. She's come back this year, and she has not been the same filly at 4.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually liked her quite a bit as a 3-year-old and thought that maybe she could be one of those horses who would eventually work her way up into those New York bred stakes ranks anyway and just be real competitive in those races. It has not happened. She has not run well. Dating back to her final start last year where she just totally gave it up in that Mitchell Road race, she hasn't run well at all this year, Dan. She's really tough to take right now.
A mare that could trip out, and here is the 5 Broken Border, stretching out slightly for trainer Jason Service, who has started this meet with a bang. Let's go back to her last race back at Belmont in July. You see her easing to the outside now. She's in the blinkers in the 3 path, and she's going to wear these horses down late. I thought it was more of a workmanlike performance than anything else. She was entered on August the 1st, listed as a vet scratch. Service has given her plenty of time since this most recent race. She is a rock-solid New York bred that could get a good trip, and I guess it's all about price. 9-2 is fair. I'm not sure I love her at this additional distance.
Yeah, I sort of share the same concerns. I mean, it was fine that she won last time. She's a pretty nice horse overall. The field that she beat last time, the lovely Lala, Saratoga Treasures of the world, they do not class up with the horses she's running against in this spot. She's just in very, very tough right now, I think.
Listen, if I'm going to give Alti the wet track excuse for the last race, you have to give it to the 6 Hollywood Glory. It was her turf debut. She caught good going. She really didn't fire in the Coffee Crush Medida race that we saw. She has got a lot of improving to do. This is a filly with a beautiful pedigree that just hasn't lived up to it just yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, she had a little bit of trouble on the first turn of her turf debut last time, but after that, it's not like you felt like she got unlucky with the race that she ran. She just didn't really do that much. She's very slow on paper right now. She's going to be a big price, though.
Top pick time for our race of the day for Friday, kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4. You got to be disappointed, Mike, that you're coupled with Medida, because everyone's going to see the company lines, the big figure, the last race. They're on Medida, and you might be on the better one. If she wasn't coupled, she's probably 8-1 in the spot.
That's true. It makes her tough to take in this race just as a win proposition. We'll see how they bet the race. Maybe Alti will be the favorite anyway. I still would rather have both halves of the entry than her in the win pool. I couldn't take Coffee Crush. I'll take the entry.
I don't love this race. I think that Alti gets one last chance for me, but absolutely one last chance. I'm worried if Coffee Crush gets loose, but again, I just don't love these horses right now. 3, 2, 1, and 5 for me. The horse that I think might have the most long-term potential is your top selection. We'll see how she handles the layoff in Friday's race of the day. Remember that Clocker Report offer we've got for the Belmont Fall Meet. Again, it's a perfect complement to your DRFPPs. You get the trusted analysis from Mike Welsh and his DRF Clocker team. Single cards available at $12.95. You get to save with a weekly subscription. Sign up and buy at drf.com/clocker. Approximate post time for the kickoff leg of the late pick 4 on Friday, 5:08 Eastern. Good luck.